Members of the committee, Superintendent Zreich, staff, and family of Salem Public Schools. My name is Michael Collins, and I am a resident of this city and a member of the staff at Witchcraft Heights Elementary School. I am presenting myself to you by way of this video on behalf of my family of colleagues, family of students attending Salem Public Schools, and my immediate family. My wife Lisa is a member of the staff at the Horace Mann Lab School, and my son is employed by Beverly Public Schools. As you are all well aware, we are enduring a fatal, contagious disease that continues to infect all walks of human life globally. Without a cure, a vaccine, or rigorous preventive and precautionary mandates in place, we are as a society powerless over this fatal infectious virus. Yes, we have been given solutions to safeguard against the potential spread of this lethal illness, but there are no guarantees that we will not become infected when we compromise these suggested solutions. Social distancing, wearing of facial coverings, washing of hands, dedication, devotion, and vigilance to uphold these things that for some of us have become social norms. For others, it appears to be nothing more than a nuisance or an infringement upon one's constitutional rights. This being said, unity among all citizens is non-existent with regard to this medical catastrophe. Therefore, this virus will continue to thrive amongst our young and old. Please know this: we do not have control over this virus. It has control over us. It will not just go away eventually, and we are not making remarkable progress in areas of testing, vaccination, and cures. And the national data for infected cases and deaths may be considered by some of our medical experts as low due to ineffective testing. In essence, there is a potential killer on the loose in our community, and it preys on large gatherings in confined indoor spaces and uses airborne water droplets as a vehicle to infect, all in its wake. If there was a potential killer in our schools, would you send your children there to sit and wait for it to act upon our students? Would you, the committee, send your educators, custodial, clerical, and food service staff to these buildings, knowing that their lives could be in jeopardy? Would you yourselves rush to these buildings so you could fall victim to the potential harm that this killer could inflict? What if we could take alternative measures to accomplish our potential educational goals and keep everyone safe in the meantime? If I or my wife contact this virus as a result of your vote here tonight, sending us back to our respective school buildings and eventually dying, will you compensate my 3 sons accordingly? I have personally attended the funeral of a student from my school. This is something I do not care to do again. I have never attended funeral services for a colleague and would very much like to keep it that way. On behalf of my colleagues, students, and families of Salem Public Schools, I call on you to use common sense and set aside all opinions, political, budgetary, and agenda-driven, when casting your vote here tonight. Do not send us back to our schools using an in-person model until such time that you can positively guarantee the staff and students are safe and protected from this fatal infectious disease. For you to vote to send staff and students back to an in-person environment could potentially lead to death. Is this something that you would sit well with in your conscience? Thank you for this opportunity to express my feelings on this critical matter, and I thank each of you for your dedicated service to our city. I will continue to remain supportive of my colleagues and members of the Salem Teachers Union, and I urge you, the voting members of this committee, to grant the Salem Public Schools staff your serious consideration when casting your vote.